Hello, High Society. Welcome back to another episode, Sordward Shielbert Spectacular Podcast, episode 24. Big one for all you viewers. We're going to find out the winner of our hashtag 100 subscriber giveaway. And we're joined by two coaches who have not been on the podcast yet. So that's really awesome. We're joined by Dave, head coach Reno Weezings. What's going on, Dave?
Not too much. Glad to be here, Ryan.
Yeah, happy to have you finally. I had to move some stuff around, but it's good to have you. And we're also joined by Andrew, head coach Paris Saint-Germignon.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, indeed. Oui, oui. How are you, Andrew?
I'm doing fine.
There you go, man. Good to have you on. Happy to that you got a webcam finally so you could join us. I know you wanted a specific one, and in today's climate, it's hard to get the tech sometimes. So very happy to see that. But we've had an awesome week in the society. Last week we broke the 100 subs and had our giveaway and all that. So I'm sure a lot of you are just tuning in to find that out. So we're going to wait till the very end to do that. No, just kidding. We'll get it out of the way now. So let's take a look at the giveaway. So we got the video up here. So the whole point of the giveaway, which a lot of people didn't understand, I had to keep commenting, hey, make sure you do the hashtag or I'm not going to be able to find it. But anyway, hashtag Society100, leave your favorite team, and you will win amazing prizes. Grand prize, you're going to get their pick of this Eternus VMAX box or the Sword and Shield expansion pass if they're into the games and they haven't gotten that yet, plus a signed t-shirt of their favorite team that they commented on. Then second place is going to get the leftovers, whichever one grand prize doesn't win, plus a t-shirt. And we're also going to do a third place winner who will get a face mask of the favorite team. So we'll just take a quick look at that. So this is the Vivid Voltage Pack Battle Tournament stuff for those who are excited about the new set Vivid Voltage coming out in a couple weeks.
Nice.
If you like those logos, definitely check that out. Use hashtag
Some high quality
Vivid5S.
art.
What's that?
Some high quality art.
Yeah, thank you. Use the promo code VIVID5S, all one word, the numeral 5, to get 10% off on that through the rest of the year. But you can see we got the face mask, all the teams. There's Reno right there. And then you got the t-shirts that we'll be giving out as well. So let's get right to the giveaway. You can see I put the URL for the YouTube here. I filtered duplicate users because I kept telling people, hey, say hashtag Society100, so that way I don't show up in there. Filter comments, Society100. We got 11 unique commenters. So we got to pick some winners here. Okay, guys, here's the thing. Should we do it in reverse order, like pick third place first, or do we go right with the grand prize?
Third place first.
Third place?
Go backwards for sure.
Yeah, go backwards. Okay.
Rising tension.
It might pick doubles, so I'm gonna keep track of who wins. I got my handy dandy phone here, and I'm gonna enter in who wins each one. Okay, so for third place, which is the face mask, let's see. Who's it gonna be? Darius Wasp gets the face mask. He commented his team on his reply, so I forget what it was. I think
Who's the fave?
I want to say it was Boston.
Of
There was a lot of Boston and a lot of Tuscaloosa. Sorry, no Reno, no PSG. But
Weaklings.
there we go. I know. So, okay, so Darius, you got number 3, so you'll be getting that face mask. Okay, guys, time for second place. Let's see. Who's
Society out here saving lives.
This is rigged. Okay, Darius, you don't win again. Sorry, bud. Joe Jondervan wins second place. So Joe, you are gonna get a T-shirt of the Worcester Deli Birds,
Nice.
and you are going to get whichever prize first place doesn't pick. And let's
Billy
find
Bird's
out
gonna
who
come
knows.
out there and give you a gift.
There you go. Okay, guys, time for the grand prize winner. Who do you think it's gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Let's find out. Baker
Oh, shit.
Turtle. He came on our 100 sub podcast. I'm gonna be so happy to have him rep the 5S merch. So Baker Turtle, he chose the Boston Braviers, so he'll be getting a signed Boston Braviers t-shirt. I got a bunch of coaches who are gonna sign it, and you get your pick, VMAX Eternus box or the Sword and Shield expansion pass. To all of our winners, make sure go to our Instagram, link below, and DM us, because that's how we'll get your information and everything. So just do that for us, and yeah, go to the Instagram and DM us. Let us know your winner. Screenshot your YouTube or whatever, so we definitely know it's you. But I don't know Darius, but at least Baker Turtle, and I actually know Joe J, so we'll be able to get a hold of them pretty easily. But that is awesome. Congrats
Nice win,
to
Baker.
the giveaway winners.
Exploiting those hacks, right?
Yeah, some people might not be happy that Scott won there, but you got to play the game. That's what I say. All right, guys. So going into some in-game talk here, we've had a few weeks now of the Crown Tundra, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting super excited for Season 4 of 5S with all the new Pokemon, especially all the legendaries going back to doubles. I'm getting super excited for that. Not that obviously I'm still excited and happy with how Season 3 is going. I think the society's really grown this season, and I know I've been learning a lot on the technical side and everything, and there's always more to learn, so I'm happy about that. But anyway, I figured we could talk a little bit about our kind of final reactions to the Crown Tundra, and just maybe talk about some of the new legendaries and everything. So Andrew, I'm gonna let you start. You can let us know how far into the Crown Tundra you've gone. Have you beaten it? What's your final say on it? Do you think it's a good expansion? Is it better or worse than the Isle of Armor? And what are just some of your general thoughts on some of the legendaries?
I finished it 2 days after it came out or something like that. So I like the Dynamax adventures.
Mm-hmm.
So those are kind of fun.
Yeah, those are fun.
I kind of just like the whole. I don't just use the same Pokemon to do the max raids and just steamroll it, and I get to try to choose my adventure kind of thing. I don't like Landorus. I don't like that he's back. I wish he was gone. I have bad memories of him. So if he's not banned in our league, I may just draft him so that no one else can use him against me.
That's what you gotta do.
And I definitely like it better than Isle of Armor. I didn't even finish that one. I still haven't
really?
I haven't gone to the 2 towers and picked my water or dark, whatever the fighting Pokemon is.
Denver Ninetales finally just did that herself, so I don't blame you there. But have you done the Galarian Star Tournament yet, Andrew? Have you tried that out?
Oh, that's the one where you get $1 million, whatever the money is afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not sure the prize. I actually haven't done it either, because when I do play, I've been grinding the Dynamax adventures, just getting the legendaries and Ultra Beasts and stuff. But yeah, it's cool because just adds even more story to it, and it's doubles, so it gives that extra thing that the official format of the game is doubles, but there's never really doubles in the actual story, so it's kind of cool to have that option.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest doubles player, so
Yeah.
I've always done singles.
Dave, what about you? I know you said you haven't gone too far into the Crown Tundra, but what are your thoughts on it, and what are your reactions and your thoughts to the legendaries that are coming back or the new ones that have been added?
Sure. Well, I picked up both the DLCs like maybe a week or two ago, so I'm new to both of them. I went through Isle of Armor and kind of stopped at the same point PSG did, where I don't give a crap about Cub Fu. So after that, I went on to Isle of Armor was okay, but I'm only like to the point where you meet Calyrex at in the Crown Tundra, but I already like it so much more because of these Dynamax adventure things. Like that's like really cool. I mean, when Diamond and Sword, Shield and Sword came out, Gmax raids were like the coolest things because it was something that you could do with your buddies. Now this, like, I don't know if my buddies are into it as much as they used to be, but it really like mixes things up a bit. I like it a lot. And the new Pokemon, I've never been a big fan of legendaries and mythical Pokemon. I like to use those underdog characters a little more. But I don't know, there's a few that are interesting me. I never played Sun and Moon, so all these Ultra Beasts kind of seem cool. I like how they're very skewed in certain stats. Like I know the Guzzlord or whatever he's called, he's like Mr. HP man, but that's about all he can do. But like for the Poison Lover and me, Nihilego or whatever it's called, that is interesting to me. But we'll see. I don't really, I haven't played Pokemon since Black and White before this, so it'll be interesting to see all this new stuff. As for like what I've experienced besides the Dynamax stuff, I like the setting a lot more. I like the tundra kind of snowy area more than like just a generic kind of island thing. And I don't know. As for Pokemon, I don't know. They're like Isle of Armor brought a lot more new Pokemon that were cool. I feel like the only things that really interest me coming into Crown Tundra are like Cradily and like Crygonal. And those are two of the Pokemon that I kind of missed, but those two are. I'll pick them up for sure.
Dave might be the only Pokemon trainer who's excited about Cryogonal being added.
Oh, come on.
Might be up there, but
he's like a special Avalugg in a way. Not as much, but still.
Yeah, some similar role, but yeah. So you haven't gone to the part with the Reggies that Cryogonal plays a pretty key role in that, so you'll be excited.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's kind of cool.
It really does. So you'll be excited when you come across that.
For sure.
Yeah, I think just my general thoughts, I definitely agree with Andrew Sentiment that Crown Tundra is better than Isle of Armor. I think, not that Isle of Armor was a bad expansion, like as far as like expansion goes. Like I would rather them do expansions than me have to buy a whole $60 game and replay through something just to get a couple things added.
Yeah.
But Crown Tundra just like took Isle of Armor and cranked it up to 11. So adding all these new legendaries that are all really cool, bringing back a bunch of legendaries. Dynamax adventures have been really fun. Like I don't ever want to do a Dynamax raid again. I just want to do Dynamax adventures for the rest of the time because it's
really
so much more fun. And you get options, right? Like at the end, like you don't have to take the legendary. I passed on the legendary a couple times because I got like a hidden ability, like Pokemon with a good nature. Yeah, I'll take that, and the lady's gonna remember where the legendary is for me, so I'll just go back in and fight back to the legendary again. But yeah, I really like it, and I like if you're following the competitive scene, the new legendaries and Pokemon that were added have been doing very well in competitive VGC. Galarian Articuno and Galarian Moltres, both like people weren't expecting anything from them, and they've both become like top tier options.
What about Zapdos? It's interesting because like weren't Moltres and Articuno like pretty much garbage when it comes
worse.
to
Regular Zapdos
what flipped
better. Yeah, the thing with regular Zapdos, I mean, I guess it could still work because it has Defiance, so it's kind of hard to intimidate, but like physical attackers are just generally a lot worse in VGC than special attackers. And they found like the bulk and everything of Moltres and Articuno's move pool is like better, so it can do Tailwind and stuff like that, so pretty good. But yeah, so that's kind of just our general thoughts on that. I think the Crown Tundra overall has been very good, and I'm super excited to be able to use all these powerful Pokemon going forward. I think it's going to really mix things up. When we do get a rules committee for next season, I'll be super excited to go into that tier list video and talk it all out.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them will end up in like S and A tier, don't you think? So we'll only really have them like maybe, you think?
Well, here's
I
the
don't
thing,
know.
right? There's always a cream of the crop, right? You're gonna have the S's, you're gonna have the A's,
Sure.
but that's gonna push things that were in A this season down to B.
It's also gonna be doubles.
Yeah. Like doubles is a whole different animal, but you know, certain Pokemon that may have been S or A in season 2, they're gonna get shoved down to B because, oh man, all the Tapus, those have to go in S and A. Oh, all the other legendaries have to, there'll be, legendaries in B. There will even be some in C because, like some of the Reggies will honestly be in C. But,
Yeah.
But and then, while we're on the topic of Reggies and new ones, Regieleki has also been tearing up BGC. Reggie
200
Draco
base
has,
speed.
Yeah, just because of the speed.
Crazy.
And it hits so freaking hard. You just put a choice specs on it and you both switch around and Electro Web and it's very, very powerful. If you don't have a ground type to be able to be immune to it and knock it out.
For sure.
Yeah, and the fact that the new legendary birds are all really good just makes Regieleki even better because it's something that's super effective against and you can kill it. All right, so after talking about that little Crown Tundra talk, back to the 5S talk. So, Andrew, you haven't had your match yet this week. We're recording this podcast kind of a day early for things, but do you want to speak to, this will come out after the battles are done, but do you want to speak to your prep, or have you gotten a chance to look at his team? How do you feel about the matchup going up against the Sin City Squirtles?
Well, I looked at the team a little bit ago. Let me look at it right now. I got on my second monitor. The thing that worries me the most is Ferrothorn, and maybe G-Max Charizard, but everything else I feel like I can handle pretty easily. Maybe I'll have to play around.
Charizard is always going to be strong.
Yeah.
Just make sure that Clefairy has Flamethrower. I'm sure that'll.
Well, yeah, I just switch around some of the how the EVs are set up on my Pokemon. So switch some of the moves. Starmie will just crit them, so this will be okay.
Maybe you talked about Charizard and Ferrothorn. Maybe it's time to bring one of your bench Pokemon into play. Flash Fire Flareon.
Hey, there you go.
I do have it built, but that's gonna ruin the whole record of not having switched out of any of my bench. That is something. That's the title I can actually win.
Okay.
All right. Are you gonna bring that into the playoffs too? I need to know.
I don't know. It could be a surprise.
Future, research.
It's just a way, you don't know if I'm gonna actually take someone out of my bench.
There you go. It could be that one time. You never know. He hasn't done it last week. He'll do it this week. Nope. All right. So Dave and I did get to have our games though, and I won't speak to my game. It was a great one. Make sure you check it out. But Dave, your game, that was something. So I'm gonna let you. For those who didn't watch it, you're gonna see a little card pop up here in a second. Definitely make sure you watch it before you hear Dave's full analysis on it. But Dave, I'm just gonna let you kind of break down that match against the Minnesota Nido Kings.
Sure. So I saw that the Nido Kings, they were like ultra offensive, ultra physical. I think their only like real special attacker was like Blastoise.
Yeah.
So I came into the game like basically like, all right, I'll fight fire with water in a way. So I took the ultra offense and put it up against my ultra defense. I took 5 tanks and 1 and Drapion.
Yeah.
And I also knew that the Nido Kings really like to increase their stats, increase their attack, and then start like steamrolling with that, whether through Shell Smash or Sword Dance or whatever. So my secret weapon against them was Pyukumuku, who has Unaware, and Unaware, for those who aren't aware, ignores all stat changes. So he went right away with Blastoise, brought out the Shell Smash, and Shell Smash twice even, and then Pyukumuku was getting tickled. He didn't care. Everything else seemed to it wouldn't phase him. He didn't have anything supposedly super effective for a water type, so really nothing could 2-hit KO him.
Yeah.
So I could just Toxic and just wait it out. It's a bit lame, sure, but for a team like his, if I didn't have Pyuku, I feel like he would just destroy my team, because all my team was super slow. Everything on his side pretty much outsped my side. Like Haxorus he usually has Molt Breaker. I don't know if his did, so in order to like avoid that, I just Alcremie came out and took care of that threat. But besides that, it's just that Pyukumuku. He's quite the wall. It was a pretty interesting game. I've had Pyukumuku work wonders before, but not through Unaware.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Taking, I'm sure a lot of our viewers or people who play Pokemon know how annoying and sticky Pyukumuku can be, but it's always a pleasure to see its little white tonguey thing paint this masterpiece. You know what I mean? So yeah. Its own innards, this
barfing on everyone.
Number, taking on some of the most scary offensive threats. Like we saw Gmax Blastoise is leading the league with 13 KOs. Like you said, did nothing against you. Galarian Darmanitan, always scary, did nothing against you.
Nope.
Haxorus, Bisharp, he's got Rhyperior now, who hits hard. Like, he just got all these hard hitters.
People aren't used to walls, I guess.
No? Yeah. Especially ones that don't care if you boost up.
Right, yeah.
But, yeah, for sure. So I think it'll be interesting with the playoffs then if Minnesota, for one, if he can make the playoffs, because that was a big loss that you
I'm sure
helped him.
He'll be fine.
For those who didn't watch the match, it was a 6-0. So
I gotta say, if I'm up against him in playoffs, though, like, it'll be scary because he knows my tricks, and now he knows Pyukumuku is kind of a threat, and now he knows Alcremie is a threat. So like maybe he'll bring something super effective against him next time, and who knows, if he breaks through like one of those key Pokemon, I'm sure he can just wipe the rest of them in some way or another. So I feel like it's all or nothing against him.
Yeah, but I'm sure you'll be prepared as well.
We'll see.
For a rematch. But yeah, awesome game, Dave. Again, guys, make sure you check it out, because it really is kind of like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. And the car hit the wall and kind of collapsed, but I know Matt will be hungry to win his last game for next week for this season. So hopefully he can get there. Yeah, he should still make the playoffs. He has a decent enough record, but just depends where his standing will be, and we'll look at that in a little bit.
Hey, maybe Charm City, they'll pull something out. Maybe they'll have their own ace in the sleeve like I did with Puku.
Yeah. Well, Charm City, definitely check out that game as well. We'll have that recorded as well. They really swapped their team around the last couple weeks, really adding this Trick Room variant. The first time they tried it was against me, and they weren't fully
prepped.
Yeah. So they were trying something new, and, they didn't know how to, like, they had an idea, they just didn't know how to implement it. So when they tried against me, it did nothing. But
might be pretty good against Minnesota then, with all those speedsters.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Stuff like Darmanitan, ice type, is gonna be weak to a lot of stuff, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's the thing with Darmanitan. You're just trying to hit things hard, and if something can resist it or hit back faster, it's gonna collapse. But yeah, but the last couple weeks he's really molded the Trick Room around. So for those who watch his game this week, you kind of see like the final form of it, which is very cool.
Yeah, props on him. Trick Room's hard to work with in singles, and like I don't think any of our teams work with it. I tried a little in like week 1, but I wasn't prepared. I floundered on there a little bit, so I'm glad he kind of took the mantle up of a Trick Room player, and I'm glad he's having some success.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a lot harder to do in singles than in doubles. Because again, you got slow Pokemon, so if someone's fast and he's just KOing you and not letting you like set up. But yeah, he's figured it out, at least for now. We'll see how he does in his next game, get into playoffs and see how it rolls from there. But going to my game, we had the kind of the premier game of the week. The 6-0 teams, Boston Brave Aviators, taking on the Denver Ninetales. So for those who didn't watch that, definitely take a look. It was a pretty good match. I want to say very few misplays. Probably the only major misplay on Denver's side. Like I'll talk about my misplays on my side, but the only misplays really on Denver's side was not removing the toxic spikes earlier. They had several opportunities to switch in their Venusaur earlier, which would have gotten rid of the toxic spikes that I laid out.
Yeah, it's too bad their rapid spinner also is kind of required to have Heat Rock too. They can't wear those boots either to real deal with any incoming. It's really too bad you can't carry 2 items at once.
So
what's up?
I think Torkoal should be running boots over
Heat Rock?
Yeah, over Heat Rock. Just because it's more important to get it out repeatedly and at key points when you want to bring out your sun, like your Pokemon that benefit from the sun, aka Venusaur, Darmanitan, and Heliolisk if you're bringing it. So,
well, maybe she'll think of that in the future for playoffs, because she's definitely making playoffs at this point.
Yeah. She already clinched her division probably like 2 weeks ago. But but I knew going in that I had to get rocks up and prevent her rocks. So that's why. And so in singles you have like anti-leads, dedicated leads, etc. And her team basically has Torkoal as a dedicated lead, right? It sets up the weather that she benefits from, and it gets up rocks, and it can rapid spin to prevent other people's hazards. So that's why I changed around my Como-O set this week. I changed it from special attacking to physical attacking, and I added taunt to deny those hazards from her Torkoal.
For sure.
And my only other major change from my team was I added Thunder Wave and took away Reflect from my Grimmsnarl, because I was more afraid of all of her physical, her special attackers than her physical attackers, so I knew I only wanted to get a Blight Screen. And I added Ice Punch instead of Fire Punch, so that if I G-Max, I could fight her Sun if I had to. I could set up over it, and it
Lots of
did
weather
do-
flips.
Yeah, and it did do a lot of damage to Venusaur when we did get out there. I also lucked out by her Venusaur getting paralyzed 2 turns in a row after the Thunder Wave when it was Gigantamax, so that's real nice.
Oof, that's
Yeah.
some bad luck.
But I mean, not to that extreme, but on the key turn that she set up sticky webs, I went for a rapid spin with my Tentacool, and it got paralyzed that turn. So the sticky webs being on the field the entire game really hindered me. Because
Sure.
then she swapped in Dugtrio, which obviously O-code Tentacool, so it couldn't get a spin off. But,
There's a lot of hazard play in that game. You know, I feel like we need a little more hazard removal in this league right now, because a lot of people take a lot of damage from Stealth Rocks and a lot of damage or a lot of lost momentum from Sticky Web and whatnot.
yeah, well, I mean, Defog is kind of like limited right now because it's not a move tutor like it was in past generation. But there's usually solid rapid spinners, and you know, you can just have key Pokemon have boots on.
Sure.
Like I've tried boots on my Zeraora a couple times. I didn't have it this week, which could have stunk with the sticky webs, but I didn't end up having to send Zeraora out. Didn't have to click that panic button. So
Yeah. Put those boots on your Charizards, people. I
Yeah.
see too many of them dying to Stealth Rock.
Charizard, Talonflame, you know, basically any Pokemon that you're going to U-turn and Volt Switch out with a lot. Make sure you have some boots on or something bulky that can remove some hazards for you. But yeah, those were kind of the key matches. Definitely check those out and our other matches this week. And with that said, let's take a look at the current standings. So we still have a couple matches left to record. Andrew and the Squirrels have to play, and Montreal and the Psyducks have to play. But we have here, so all alone, first place, it's your 2-time, the Boston Braviaries, right where he belongs, basically clinching the #1 seed. Denver can only tie us. We would have to get swept and they would have to win out. And even then, we would still win on breakers because we beat them this season. So you're looking at them. The #1, I'll call it right here. I don't need to wait for Nevada. I'm calling it. Haha. Political humor. Anyway. So with that said, the other remaining undefeated Denver, they lost this week, so they go down to 6-1, 17 points. Still, you know, they'll be second place unless they lose and Dave has a very nice game, or Montreal still has a pretty decent shot at catapulting them. Dave, there you are, third place. You've been creeping up in the rankings now. What do you think? Do you think this is where you'll land at the end of the season?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of these teams are higher up on the standings right now. I haven't fought, like I've never fought or I won't be fighting the Montreal Milotics or the Dragapults because they weren't at all in my rotation for this season. So I think I at least being in the playoffs is fitting, but I wouldn't say it's a fluke, but I'm surprised to see myself this high for my first season is all. We'll just say that.
Yeah, we can take a look at the schedules later. I might do a strength of schedule calculation for the end of the season podcast.
Sure.
Well, like for next
That'd be
week.
interesting to look at.
Yeah, to see like, okay, how difficult was your schedule? I did that last season, and some coaches liked it, some didn't. You know, if you're like 5-2 and you're like, oh yeah, because your schedule's been crap.
Well, maybe we'll put it to a vote. Up to you.
All right, so
A win's a win.
a win is a win. I will say that. All right. Also, fourth place, 5-2. We got Tuscaloosa Talonflames. They actually played their match this week. They did not have to forfeit, so good for them. Dave, next week you play against Tuscaloosa, and that game will decide the division for you. So that could keep you out of a top 4 seed if you. Well, it will keep you out of a top 4 seed if you don't win it, but.
Sure.
Have you gotten a chance to look at Tuscaloosa's team, any of their matches? I know that they have a few recorded.
Yeah, I've seen a few. I've seen a few, look at the strategy. I like to think that I might throw some opposition up against them, considering what they like to do. But, you know, I will say I'm afraid of that Ndidi. That Ndidi for a B tier has been rocking, I don't know, kicking ass, I guess. And there was another one. Oh, them bringing out this G-Max Lapras. G-Max Lapras is just crazy. Like, I'm going to have to figure out a way to throw everything at that thing because, man, Aurora Veil, what a pain in the ass that thing is. But we'll see. I like to think it'll be an interesting game regardless of what happens.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure it'll be a very good game. You've obviously proved that you're a good, capable coach using some unique Pokemon, and Tuscaloosa has a history of doing well in the society, so I think that'll be a good
runners-up last season, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I want to see how I compare to these Grandmasters we got here.
There you go. All right, now a couple teams who haven't done their games this week but are in very good position to kind of climb up the standings. We've got Montreal Milotics 4-2 with a very impressive +11 differential for their record. So if they can beat the Psyducks, which, sorry, Ali, it's basically a conclusion for that. I think we'll see them kind of overtake the third place spot there. And then, Andrew, you also need to play your game. We already kind of talked about how you feel about that, but how do you feel about your playoff propositions? Unfortunately, with my win, you now have no way to win the division, so you are out of a top 4 seed. But do you think you can get into that top 6 seed? So seed number 5 or 6, that gives you a 1-week bye.
Maybe. It's kind of close on the bottom there. So.
Yeah, it gets pretty congested. Basically outside of the top 2, it's been pretty congested all season. Yeah. Definitely, like, you know, again, I'm talking smack for other teams against other teams, but I think Montreal and PSG will both be 5-2 after this week. So basically we'll have 4 5-2 teams still. So, you know, anything can happen in that last week. Obviously one team will be 5-3 after that, unless you guys want to tie and screw all the math up. But that would take some
like explosion or something.
Yeah, explosion, or just like focus sash with poison or something.
Sure, yeah. Weather.
I don't know. Yeah, hail or a life orb or something. All right, so going out of that, like, kind of like top ranking, like those top teams that we all know, like 5-2 or better. We got the Driftvale City Dragapults 4-3, very nice +8 differential from them. So they're in a very nice spot for playoffs. I think even if they lose, having that positive differential is gonna get them in there, of course. Minnesota Neo Kings took their lumps this week, but still a good record, 4-3 with a +2. They'll be facing off against the Charm City Charizards, also 4-3 with a +2. So they're tied for that. So what do you guys think about this matchup? Again, Charm City's kind of developed this niche for Trick Room that we talked about, and we know Minnesota loves their hyper offense. So I think that'll be an interesting game, right? It's gonna depend if Trick Room can get up or not.
Really? Yeah. You got to find a way to stop Minnesota's like blitzkrieg.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you do though, they're looking shabby after that. It's like
Yeah,
again,
they
it's
kinda
all or
need
nothing
that.
with Minnesota.
Yeah, they kind of need that shell smash to come off. So if you can have something in there that's gonna hit Blastoise hard, and then even if Blastoise then KOs you next turn, if you have something that can revenge kill because you hit it hard or something, that'd be good. And then kind of the same thing against Bisharp. Minnesota is known for leading Xatu a lot, so it's good to have like a electric type on your team.
He's caught on to his leads though. I haven't seen him do Xatu in a long time now. Even though I think you said something and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's been 4 games and I've done Xatu every time," but I haven't seen him do Xatu since. So
yeah.
Maybe he's trying to mix it up. Like he brought Blastoise in our game first.
Yeah,
I've
he was
never
just
seen
trying
him
to go
Blastoise
max offense against you.
Yeah.
He probably looked at your team and was like, "Oh, he's gonna send."
I don't think he was aware of Puku, or
Yeah.
at least Puku's unaware. So
Yeah.
I think that's what.
Unaware of the unaware.
Yeah.
Oh, the poetry. All right, and then in the final current playoff spot, we got the LA Kinglers 4-3 with a -3 differential. But yeah, actually, now that I look at this, now that I do math, this is our playoffs.
Impossible otherwise.
Yeah, because every other team is 2-5 or lower. So even if they get a win, they only have 3 wins.
Yeah. Okay.
So the playoffs, other than the seeding, is already set. Wow, I didn't even realize that until I looked at it here. So with that said, I guess, okay, let's look at the bottom teams that will make up our losers bracket playoffs. We got the Vero Beach Volcarona, the Worcester Deli Birds, both 2-5. Mighty Psyducks, 1-5, soon to be 1-6. I love you, Ali. It's okay. The 1-6 Slateport Sableyes, 1-6 Seattle Shiny Sylveons, and the winless Sin City Squirtles. So, sorry guys. You'll get to compete in the losers bracket for the lovely losers prize, as well as the #1 pick in next season's draft. But you will not be making the playoffs, and we get to look at our playoff teams a week early, which is kind of exciting, I guess. Again, unexpected because I didn't really, I positioned all these, but I didn't really like look at it, right?
Sure.
So knowing that, Andrew, knowing the playoff picture, other than, massaging it a little bit, you see it. What do you think of these teams? Just give me like your general opinion on the field here.
They all seem pretty people I don't want to face, so I definitely don't want to face you again, so hopefully you get knocked off by someone else other than me, because at least now I know what your Pokemon are, so that would be great in a rematch. But I want to face Minnesota Nidokings again, because that fake out or whatever it was, that
Sucker Punch.
Sucker
Right.
Punch.
Yeah.
Like, I tried predicting the Sucker Punch when he was doing it, and no, he just set up, and I was like, okay, of course.
Yep. Sucker Punch is fun to play around, but difficult. If you want to not bother with it, you could always pick up the other Indeedee and just be like, oh, here's a Psychic Terrain, and I'll have like Choice Specs or Choice Scarf and use Mystical Fire.
Yeah. Or
Because he doesn't like to run a second Dark move. He typically runs Iron Head, Sucker Punch, Sword Dance, and Brick Break. But that's just another option. Dave, what about you? The playoff landscape is set. What do you think?
Honestly, I mean, I'm obviously afraid of you in Denver. I'll say right now, I have a weakness to lightning or electric types, and that Zeraora scares the crap out of me. As for Denver, they got a lot. I don't really have anything to counter weather, so that scares me a bit there. Venusaur will also give me a lot of trouble, I'm sure of that.
And they have 2 electric types.
Doug Trio ground types also kind of screw me over too. Doug Trio can basically choose to kill basically anyone at once on my team with that arena trap. So honestly, I don't feel too good if I go up against either of you two in the tops. I haven't really looked into Montreal Dragon Pulse that much. Because they weren't in my lineup for this season, but obviously from what I'm seeing with their points and whatnot, they're pretty formidable. If I remember correctly, one of them has Gmax Rillaboom, and Rillaboom is always a pain.
Yeah, that's the Dragapult.
Yeah. So we'll see there. Perry, I find it interesting because I like to think I came into our game looking pretty good and was just kind of had an unlucky streak going. I feel like if I were to go up against you again, you'd be wise to a few of my tricks. So I don't think it would, but also the chances of getting those crits again are also pretty low, so we'll see. That might be tight. Minnesota, he's again wise to my tricks again, so I wouldn't be surprised if he finds a way to get past the defense and just start tearing through the team. I fought Charm before, but that was pretty early in. With Trick Room, I'm not sure that'll help him very much because my team is already really slow. And LA, again, that's another one I haven't seen in a while, so I can't really say I have an idea of what would happen there. But it'll be interesting regardless. I think this will be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be really fun. So kind of what's interesting is we got the 4 divisions. We basically have 2 of the division winners, myself winning the East now, and Denver clinched the West a couple weeks ago. The winner between Reno and Tuscaloosa will win the South. But if you look at the North, that includes Charm City, Minnesota, Montreal, and Worcester, who's out of it. But there's 3 teams here who, could really all be vying for it. So,
who else is in the South? I'm in South, right?
Yeah, you and Tuscaloosa are vying for the South Division. Arrow and Mighty Spider. Huh?
And we're fighting this week. How can brothers fight?
Right. What you gotta do? You gotta choose.
Yeah,
who's the best. But
for sure. Yeah,
I definitely think. I felt like for those who are kind of left out, I guess these 2 and 5 teams. I think Ed from Vero Beach, he played very well. This was his first foray into competitive Pokemon.
Yeah, what my butt.
Yeah, and I think, as he learns about egg moves and breeding and stuff, if he had Mach Punch on his Conkeldurr last week, he would have crushed me. But that's an egg move, so he didn't have that. I helped him to breed one afterwards because he realized that. But I think going into next season, he'll be even more formidable. I just want to say that even though his record doesn't show it, I think he's played every team very hard.
Yeah, for a new player to be at the top of the losers bracket, that's pretty good. Yeah, I take some pride in that.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said,
and new to Pokemon in general. Wasn't Sword and Shield his first game?
Yeah.
Pokemon game? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So he's done well. And also 2 and 5, we got the Worcester Delibird. I'm sure Juan isn't too happy about his standings. He did have a relatively tough schedule. we can take a look at the schedules real quick though. Let me zoom out a little bit here.
Maybe we'll have a prize for whoever had the highest or the toughest schedule, I guess, for the season. You know,
The prize
if you
can
do
be
that
can brag
calculation.
if you won in it, and you can complain if you lost.
Sure.
You can make excuses. All right, so we see here. Let's just go down to Worcester because I was talking about them. Of course, it didn't load yet. So we can take a look at let's take a look at your
Next week.
schedule. Yeah, your schedule, Dave, real quick. So you went up against Vero, who you lost to.
Yeah.
And then, you beat LA, right?
Yes. I lost against Vero and Paris. But I won
Oh
every-
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, overall, if we look at the teams that are out of the playoffs, you played Vero, Psyducks, and Sin City. So really, only 3 teams that are out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
4 wins from Charm City, 4 wins from LA, 5 wins eventually from Paris, 4 wins from Nido Kings, 5 wins from Tuscaloosa. So pretty solid schedule, I would say, on your end. Definitely not what I would consider easy. So looking at
I didn't go up
Andrew and
against you
PSG here.
You were Denver though, so
Yeah, that's right. You didn't have to play against either of us, or Montreal either, who I think has also been doing very well this season.
True.
Paris, on the other hand, had to play against quite a few good teams. Obviously, starting off against Boston Braviaries. Andrew, you also went up against Montreal. You were able to beat them in that game before they kind of found their footing. After week 2, they made some changes and found their footing. For non-playoff teams, you will eventually play against 3 of them. So again, that's kind of standard. Comparing you to Reno. So you have 7-win, eventual 5-win, a 4-win, a 5-win, and a 4-win. So I think that schedule is a little tougher than yours, Dave.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So let's take a look at Worcester here, because I just wanted to look at theirs. They had a pretty tough schedule. Minnesota, back when Minnesota was doing their thing, of course. Boston, bye week. Charm City, pretty solid. I think they beat Charm City though. Yeah, they did. Charm City went 2-0 and then lost, so they were able to beat Charm City. Dragapults have been doing well. Denver, of course, and then Tuscaloosa this week, and they finished with Montreal, who's also a top team this season.
Pretty tough guy, yeah.
Worcester's schedule, you see they only played against 1 team that's out of the playoffs.
Gotta give him a little credit, man.
Yeah, so very, very tough schedule. So basically, I just wanted to look at that and basically say to Juan, tough schedule. I know he's a competitor, especially with video games and everything, so I think he'll be hungry again for next season.
For sure.
Since we were going over it, though, we can just look at my team. I'll play against 4 teams that were out of the playoffs. So if you want to say that, hey, this guy, he's a schmuck, he doesn't deserve that undefeated record, not that I have it yet, Yvonne and Slateport, they can take that from me, but, the current undefeated record, you can all pile the hate right on here. So
I think what we might need is some more competitors next season to give you a little competition,
Well, if you
those guys from the other
from the
league.
PFL,
Yeah.
they're interested in potentially joining. So, and I have some other potential applicants.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we implement a minor league, but yeah, I would like to flatten the curve, to coin a term, but. All right, so guys, we're going to be wrapping up this week's podcast. It was really great to have Dave and Andrew both on. Andrew, I'm gonna let you have the last words here. I need you to take up 5 minutes of just kind of monologuing. That way we can hit a 40-minute runtime here. So your clock starts now.
Let's hear it, boss.
Okay, let's pull up the United States Constitution. Okay.
The whole world listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patriotism.
Let's see here. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Diving into some current event humor.
Oh. The Constitution. Okay. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
You know, if we're actually going to like bring rules into it, I got some. So what kind of rule changes you think might come into play for next season? Right, I'm just curious.
Obviously, like this will all depend on
Besides doubles.
Yeah, it is doubles, so you'll have, you know, the stuff that goes with that. As far as like general rule sets, I do want to expand the regular season, potentially to 10 games. Kind of like have more teams play against each other.
Sure.
Kind of do that.
How do you set up the beginning schedules? Like how? Like the season schedule. How do you set them up for everyone? Just do it through some sort of algorithm?
This season, what I did was, since I broke everybody up into divisions, I was like, okay, week 1, 4, and 8, you're gonna play against somebody in your division. That was pretty much
Gotcha.
Right, kind of set it up from there. And then after that, I just used a randomizer to randomize everything else. And as long as, like, say someone wasn't playing 3 teams in the South and 2 teams in the North and nobody in the West, I
let it ride.
Kind of be there, yeah. But if something was off like that, then I just kind of like, okay, I either redid it, or if it wasn't getting what I wanted, I was like, okay, this person's playing 3 in the West, this person's playing 3 in the East. Let me see if there's a way that I can swap that. So that's how I did that. And that's probably what we'll do again for next season. But yeah, I would like to see probably going to 10 games. There's been a lot of talk for expanding the playoffs to being like a best of 2 throughout. I don't think I would want the finals to be a best of 5. That just seems like a lot. But if I wouldn't mind expanding to like best of 3s in certain.
What about best of 2s throughout the normal season, or is that too much for now?
So there is a league that I follow for those who watch a competitive draft league. The WBE implemented a Bgc Doubles League this season, which is doubles. You bring 6 Pokemon, but you play with the VGC rule set, which is you only pick 4 and you do a best out of 3. So that is something that we could think about doing. They also go with, you can Dynamax any Pokemon that you want. Again, that's something, you know, doubles is different than singles. In singles, I would not want any Pokemon to be Dynamax. I think it's fine to know what Pokemon your opponent can Dynamax, because then you can plan around that.
For sure.
So at least in doubles, it's a little more play around it. Obviously, we see it in regular VGC that, you know, Dynamax isn't an overbearing obstacle. But yeah, I definitely think that there's a lot of room for discussion and rules change for next season. I'll definitely be trying to put together a rules committee within the next couple of weeks, kind of just to get the ball rolling on that sort of stuff, so that we're all ready by after the holidays to get season 4 kind of started. Beginning of January is kind of my goal, and let people enjoy December, you know, take a break and decompress and just, you know, enjoy
Yeah.
it. But
The last 2 months are gonna be pretty hectic.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, but I mean, I this season I sent out a survey for certain rules questions and saw what like people in the league wanted to do. So I'll probably do something like that again, get the general consensus. We do have a survey out right now for those in the society, just kind of like a state of the society kind of thing. We did that last season as well. So far it's been positive, but next podcast we'll take a look at all the ones that we've gotten back and just kind of see what people liked, what they didn't like about this season, just general stuff like that. But yeah, I'm always happy to hear feedback from people and kind of go from there as far as like the rules and the sets goes, especially going from singles to doubles, etc.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for the next season, season 6.
Yeah, I'm excited for every season.
Yeah.
Forever. I actually got big plans for season 5, but I'm gonna leave that close to the chest for a while.
Sorry, isn't this season 5? Am I?
Oh, this is season 3.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're in season 3. Next season will be season 4. And then we'll have season 5. But yeah, awesome. So, Andrew, thank you for your rendition of the opening lines of the U.S. Constitution. Congratulations to President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. I hope that all of our viewers, American or foreign, can come together during this time and enjoy some Pokemon battles.
Hell yeah.
As always, thank you for watching and stay classy, society.
See you guys.